All right, so this is a very makeshift, very makeshift version of the stream. Sorry for the software. I've only got one monitor, one window because I'm on a tablet. All right, and I just want to make sure the audio was working. So I'm on a tablet, and this is all I'm going to be able to do for this week. I apologize, and I apologize everything is so late. It's been one heck of a week. So my little girl is home sick this week, and I'm the one to look out for her, and that means that I don't have a working PC to actually do the cartoons. So I'm trying to do it on the tablet, and it seems to be going okay. So just hang in there with me, and I can kind of see the chat from my phone. I don't have a second monitor. So let's just see how this goes. And I can't promise that I'm not going to bail on this early, but I apologize for all the false starts last night. I was having connectivity problems, and I couldn't get a decent enough frame rate to actually stream. But we're back this morning, and yeah, it seems to be going okay. So I guess this is, what are we talking about? Wednesday night. So Wednesday night, North American time. So yeah, I'm not sure. Squeeze, yeah, maybe make this a little smaller. Come on. Oh, that's as small as it gets. Yeah, that's minimum size. So I've got some menus that you're not seeing because the way I have the stream set up is just on the window of the active document, which when I switch over, I hope still works. We'll have to see how that goes. And yeah, so no mouse. So we'll see what I can actually get done. It can't be any worse than the Photoshop crashing 11 times stream. That was definitely a low point. But yeah, let's see. Oh, so I got notice that the physical copy, the Alien RPG, is on the way. So looking forward to that and seeing what the production looks like on that. We enjoyed their early kind of free adventure, so we'll see what they do with the full system, if it can actually sustain. All right. Yeah, it seems to be going okay. This is going to look a little different than my usual, but not too bad. All right. But Free League always does a nice job. Their production quality is always very nice. So I'm just curious to see, because they're sending, there'll be maps and tokens and dice and all that good stuff. So that'll be fun to see. Yeah, it's looking pretty normal. I think I've got the pressure settings okay, so it's kind of reacting about the same. Just everything's on a smaller scale, so it's changing how I'm drawing things. So I guess we're having a flu season already in Japan, and also a mycoplasma pneumonia is here, and so who knows? It's hard to tell which of these wonderful gifts is from all the fine tourists visiting. Yeah, the last thing I read from China, there are 1,000 planes a week now coming to Japan. Nice. I guess maybe Chinese got turned off pretty early from going to more prestige European destinations. I heard that they were getting robbed in Italy to the extent that the Chinese government requested Chinese language police in Italy. That's a pretty old story. But I'll see, that line in the middle is going to affect me putting eyes, so I better not do that, even though it was a perfect little line. So Japan is nice and safe, and they can argue and bully Japan politically. So yeah, what was the... Yeah, there's all kinds of ridiculous... The stories are just endless. Best not to worry about it. Okay, yeah, so, and the microphone's completely different than I'm using, so I apologize for the if it's tinny or strange sound. It's just the microphone on the tablet itself, not the big nice Blue Yeti USB that I usually use. It's got nice gating and everything on it. All right, let's try. And over here, yeah. See if I can distort. Oh, they're on the same layer. That's why. All right. Okay. Let's try again. Uh-oh, I think, hold on a minute. Okay, sorry about that. Going to be some interruptions, possibly, so I might, if you see me flick over to OBS, then you know that I'm, oh, please go away now. There we go. Yeah, it's a little bit different feel. The sensitivity is, of course, totally different, so having trouble. Also having trouble putting my keyboard someplace that's not ridiculous. All right, let's try that. Great. So, keyboard shortcut's not working for brush size with this little keyboard. I've got a little USB keyboard hooked up here that isn't being understood as being a Japanese keyboard by the tablet. So, well, that's not looking like much. Oh, all right. Yeah, a bit of a different look, but still works. Hey, I can see someone's on the chat. So hey there, sorry to be gone, and there's no camera, of course, on this stream because I don't have that, not enough USB on this tablet. So I'm streaming on a tablet for the first time, so that's making it a little more difficult. So thanks for watching. Oh, actually. Oh, that's my cousin. Hey. Hey, cuz. You're catching me at a strange time in a very strange condition. So my little girl is sick, so I'm stuck at home, and we don't have a PC that is able to do much of anything, especially stay on the internet. So I'm doing this stream from a tablet. So a little bit different situation, so things will look different, but I've already missed so many days. I'm already so behind. I figured I may as well give this a shot, and it seems to be working okay, better than my previous attempts. So sorry about the false alarms last night trying to get online and having a 96% frame rate drop or frame drop. Yeah, I can see the chat window, but it's really tiny, so it's hard to read names. But good to hear from you. Are you guys getting snow already? I can imagine. Already in Hokkaido, they had their first snow. And it's weird because everything's been very delayed this season, so people weren't expecting it. But yeah, they got their a good snowfall in the northern island in Japan. Let's see. Yeah, the only problem with this setup, I think, is the keyboard. Otherwise, everything seems to be okay. Decent. But this is not a good position for the keyboard where I'm not bending my wrist in a weird way, because it's one of those real tiny travel Bluetooth keyboards. And it's really hard to type on, and because it's Japanese, it has a space bar basically the size of like two normal keys. They make really tiny space bars because they need all of the extra keys for language, for switching between alphabets and modes for typing, like all kinds of character entry modes. Yikes, that's not going well. So without my wonderful picture in the window, this must be incredibly inane. Watching me do the same line again and again and again. Maybe I'll just save that for coloring. I don't think that's going to make it anyhow. Well, unless I make it something else. All right. Just keep at this. Oh, let's see if we can. I'm going to be drawing everything so screwy. All right. Okay. Oh, let's see if I can see this here. Whoa. Oh no, further north. Further north. How close to Canada does one need to be? Oh, yeah. So that's got to be, because I remember snowy Halloweens and things when we were in Illinois, northern Illinois. So I can't even imagine that much closer to Canada. Yeah, I had a friend. I've been watching his Instagram. He took a teaching contract in Greenland. So it's one of those little islands kind of off that cluster, kind of where you get that transition between Canada and Greenland and all the little land masses that kind of break up along there. So he's teaching at a little village there that only has like one boat that drops a half shipping container once a month, and you put in your orders for everything. So very remote and very hard hard living, and the school is all just cinder blocks, and I'm sure they're just buried. I gotta check up on him and see if how many snowy pictures he's posted, but he was posting during the summer, But yeah, he was teaching 6th grade, I think, in, I can't remember the name of the area, but it's basically like Greenland, and it's basically like native peoples, more indigenous peoples, and yeah, pretty impressively remote and barren. But he, after being in Japan, he moved to Canada for a while, and so I guess hooked up with somebody that got him a contract to do that. A risk taker. All right. So, yeah, I keep kind of turning the... let's see. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting now because that's the one thing, that's the one gift from all the increased tourism in Japan that we can't do anything about. Basically, all they can monitor at airports is if someone has a high enough fever. I guess they can, read thermal. They've got like thermal optic or something at the security that they can actually see if someone is has an elevated temperature. But other than that, we have no idea what people are bringing into the country and no way to stop it. So we're going to have 2 flu seasons now in Japan from now on. And being in Asia, we get all the flus. So plenty of strains. So the flu vaccine feels particularly useless here because, how it's kind of a best guess. They like take, samples or whatever they have of the live virus from the last year and guess what we could be dealing with this year, and they're not often correct. But often there's more than one flu in the season, so maybe it'll help one of those times. But yeah, it seems pretty ridiculous. I don't know if those delicious tourist dollars are really worth so much missed school and missed work, unless everyone just goes into the tourist industry. The hospitality industry. And the sad thing is, and I'm not sure if this is like the big, it's not the big motivation, I can tell you that, but the sad thing is that, Japan is one of the last countries in the world that is just kind of obsessed with personal service and, connecting with, how a shop interacts with its customers, or how staff, interacts with customers. So it's really important culturally, and I think it's going to go away just because they're going to have to hire a bunch of Chinese language proficient kids just to handle the increased number of people, especially like drugstores and restaurants and things. And they're not gonna, the customers aren't going to demand it, and they're not going to actually perform that kind of Chinese or a Japanese style high level care and courtesy. So I'm using kind of the wrong words, but something like that. And the thing that I'm really not looking forward to, there's no palm rejection here, so it's catching my palm and saying, "Oh, you want to pinch and zoom?" So the thing I'm really not looking forward to is when China decides to show off that they think they're better than Japan. And I guess a problem that happens in mainland China is the abuse of wait staff and anybody that's taking care of you, anybody that's serving you or something is below you. So to show your strength, you can abuse them, make a big spectacle of abusing them all you want, and that isn't shameful. For Chinese, it shows how powerful they are, and so people, ooh, I respect that guy because look how he talked to that waiter and threw something at him. So it's not looking forward to that when that kind of culture comes here and you can't get rid of it. But hopefully, if enough incidents like that happen, then they will just start limiting tourism. Because it's definitely a bubble, and already China has said they're going to use it as a weapon, for kind of political means. So if someone is, and this especially works with small countries that small poor countries that depend very heavily on tourism, they will just withhold their tourism until the political issue is solved. The diplomatic issue, I should say, is solved between the countries, and they've already admitted that they're doing that. So Japan is going to have to deal with that, and all these goofy businesses that are just popping up to kind of serve Chinese tourists are going to have a real day of reckoning. It's going to go away real fast. But it's interesting here that the tourism and the kind of, pushing people to use credit cards, because I guess they get, it's easier to do tax-free, or they can get points or something. So there's a big motivation like Alipay, and I forget the other, that's the cashless system. I forget the Chinese credit card that's everywhere, but there's signs for this Chinese credit card, and it's pushing Japan a lot more to consider cashless options, along with their more liberal immigration policies for workers. And they're trying to test out cashless payments and everything with workers, because older generation in Japan is all cash based. You watch 70-year-old women, 80-year-old women walking around with a purse stuffed with cash, because basically like the $10 bill, like people basically only use 10s, 50s, and 100s, the equivalent of here, and a $10 bill is basically like a one, and so they often have quite a few of those. But you'll just see old ladies' purses just stuffed with cash, because it's often the woman in the household that kind of manages does the house accounts, and so a lot of people, because they stay home into their 30s, they stay home until they're married, and so it's often into their 30s, and everyone gets like an allowance. So weekly or monthly, more often weekly, people are given so much money for pocket money, fold-in money to spend just on lunch and their whatever they need, and often the kids living at home are working, and some of them have salaried jobs, so they have just all that money just accumulating to play with, and the family is still giving them an allowance to pay for lunch and things. So often the mother or grandmother is going to the ATM with a dozen bank books and moving money between all these accounts and pulling out cash to give to all of the family members on a weekly basis. So they love the cash, and it's going to be hard for that generation. I think it's going to be still it's going to be until the baby boomers are gone. So maybe another 20 years before people will just completely let go. But Japan loves dealing with cash. But they don't have tipping. That's the interesting thing. There's no tipping in Japan, but there's everything is very cash based. So this new immigration, and then also I think the tourism, the higher use of electronic payments and card payments, because of the tourism, is kind of shifting that a little bit, and making businesses have those systems working, and so it'll be easier then to kind of transition Japanese people into using those systems when the time comes. So I don't know. It's but there's not Japan doesn't have the predatory revolving credit and things that a lot of Western countries are dealing with. Like kids don't have kids aren't solicited for credit cards. Sorry, but undo. Kids aren't solicited for credit cards on university campuses and stuff the way that they are in America. And also there's more family money. So the way that instead of just every man for themselves and build the biggest, bank account you can, American style, and, have the biggest investment portfolio, there's family money, and the family money is invested. And so that, gives returns that can then be used for. So if somebody's not working or any situation, so somebody gets married and they, want to buy a condo or something, or somebody needs a car or something, it's usually like the family money that takes care of that, which is very different from the U.S., where everyone is one paycheck away from being on the street for most of their lives. Ugh. So yeah, a lot more cushion and a lot more stability in that kind of a system. But then, also that can create tension. So you see that kind of tension you see more in the real estate market here. So the real estate market is not great in Japan, and it's kind of upside down because people bought like crazy during the bubble times, up until the mid 90s. So the 80s and the mid 90s, people built and bought like crazy, and then the house values just dropped in half. And so everybody is upside down on properties, and property is of course one of the big things that families invest in. So there's a lot of families with houses and different kinds of commercial properties and things that just either they're outdated, it's like a vending machine business or a paid parking lot or something that is just not even paying for itself anymore. And but it's then the family has to kind of decide what to do, and if there's not a strong male presence in the family, if they've gone senile or they're just too old to make any decisions, and there's a lot of sons that are very useless, then it just becomes a bunch of tension and people fighting over things. So it's very very funny, and you only see that in certain situations in the U.S. It's usually the grandparents' houses. Like the grandparents were lucky enough, like in a big city, to have bought a house for $20,000 in the 30s. That's basically a mansion now, and is on some the most valuable real estate in America. Then families are always fighting over that. But I think it's a little more rare because of the every man for themselves mentality that America loves so much. That's what makes health insurance so fun. It's like gambling. Oh. Yeah, that's hard to explain. Because Japan has kind of a version of socialized medicine. They have like public insurance, and everybody goes to the doctor all the time for everything. So waiting times for doctor visits are crazy, and especially because this population is so old. There are so many people waiting to see the doctor, and so doctor's offices can be tiny. They can be just a waiting room and one tiny exam room, and then some equipment and things are kind of crammed in there. And a lot of times, because of the way the insurance works, you have to see your family doctor, and then he'll send a referral and send you to a bigger hospital or whatever. And but he's the entry point to that, and it's just like a factory worker. Just people are coming in as next. He just has to crank through all of the colds and things coming through the office. But yeah, I mean, especially the bigger hospitals, a lot of the younger doctors have really terrible bedside manner. But for the most part, it works decently. I mean, you get the care, you get decent care. Things are kind of old and outdated. And then newer hospitals, there's newer, nicer equipment, and hopefully you can get a referral to those sorts of places. But for the basic stuff, it's pretty it's pretty old school, but it's super cheap. Yeah, it's you're paying almost nothing. I think the public insurance is like less than $100 a month, and every time you go to the doctor, you never have to pay more than $20. So the prescriptions can be a little bit more, but even that is the price of that is helped. So the insurance here is nice. I mean, there is zero cosmetic or what's the elective. There's not any coverage for anything elective or cosmetic. So even like braces and things aren't covered. But you can get all the basics, and it's good for when you've got flu outbreaks and stuff. They love their flu tests here. And I can't remember having a flu test. I thought it was just a swab. Like I remember maybe having my like throat swabbed, but that might have just been they were like testing for like strep throat or something. I remember like something stuck in the back of my throat. No, in Japan they pull out a 2 foot long, so like a like 24 inch maybe more swab that's like a something. It looks like something you would use to clean up the dust. One of those like synthetic little dust brushes. So it's a fuzzy little synthetic. Whoa, let me just double check. I'm still working here. Yeah, a fuzzy little synthetic dust swab, and they jam it straight in your nose. So looking straight at you, they just put it straight into one of your nostrils until they hit brain tissue or something. But they go well into your sinuses, and it's pretty much the worst feeling ever because they go. It goes so far up your nose and you think it can't go any farther, and they keep going. It's the worst feeling ever. Yeah, so I hate that. And that's like just a standard thing that they want to do. You come in complaining of anything and they just, let me stick this, halfway up into your skull. So they that's kind of a standard, I think, like a public health standard that they have just to slow down the spread of influenza, because it can get so out of control. And then the classes, this is another thing I don't remember. I remember snow days at school, but there are flu days here. So once 5 or more students in like a class of 30 to 40 are absent due to the flu, they close the class down for a week and just let the virus kind of get through everybody it's going to get through and stop being contagious as much as possible. So that happens quite often. And, kind of different classes, like you'll be in class and the different classes are kind of going down around you. It's like, they just hit their number 5. They just hit 6. They're closed. Your class is still going. And then eventually they have some certain number. Once the certain number of students are out, then, the whole school is closed for flu reasons. Yeah. So that's fun. So it's very disruptive. It's disruptive in companies and schools and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking with all this. Oh, but yeah. Okay, do we have anything usable here? I've been drawing for a while. And rambling about Japan's public health system. See, I used to talk about being creative and following your instincts and things, and now all I do is a rant about. And I think that's an expat disease, because you have to kind of have some kind of pressure valve for that, and just seeing everything going on around you, and from your very different point of view, watching how things go is hard to just kind of accept as normal. So you're having a reaction to, that's weird, I don't like that, and so you're reacting to things, and it's pretty useless, and nobody really wants to hear it. But that's pretty much what expats do. And now there's podcasts where they do that. I was listening to some Chinese expats that talk about how messed up things are, from their Western, totally opposite point of view. And like I was saying, that's a huge difference. So like for example, the president of China and his aversion to Winnie the Pooh, and kind of banning, because somebody somewhere got drunk and said he looks like Winnie the Pooh, and he never forgave the world for that one. And so it's kind of a banned thing, on the internet and stuff. You can have some trouble if you're referring to him, referencing Chinese government or whatever, using Winnie the Pooh. And that is not seen as weakness, and wow, he's really insecure, and what a strange guy to be so upset, to not be able to take it, not be strong enough of character to take it. No, the strength is being able to ban it, being able to say, okay, you're going to call me poo, no more poo. That's like, wow, it's culturally very, very different idea. And that was, there was a Chinese homestay student when I was teaching high school, Chinese homestay student. And that was basically what people are taught. And it's a pretty easy conclusion to get to. As she just said, we are too different. We will never understand each other. And yeah, okay, maybe on a political level, or like, how your society is structured or whatever, there's like, kind of Christian based versus Confucian based or communist based, whatever you would consider Chinese culture now. Maybe at that level, but on a human level, anybody can relate to anybody. It's, everything is understandable. Everything is, makes sense on a human level. And so to just dismiss things as, oh no, Western and Eastern cultures can never understand each other. Well, they're going to have incompatible kind of societal choices and things that, systems that they have chosen to live by, but that doesn't make them completely, it doesn't make the world completely incomprehensible. So I was struck by that. And the funny thing is, then, I think I've told this story before, of course, then she went to America. I think she went to Purdue and then Columbia for graduate school for theater arts, and lived in America for like 7-8 years. The horrible, incompatible, I'll never understand them America, and did well. And I think she went back to China just recently to hopefully work in theater, and not hopefully she's from the right side of the country and isn't assembling iPhones, but actually can have a wonderful creative career, as long as nothing she says in her plays, no songs about Winnie the Pooh in her plays. Yeah, it's interesting. But that was the first time I was kind of confronted with that, because culture differences on the level of American are like, did your parents grow, or did you grow up with your parents cooking some smelly food in the kitchen? That is basically the extent of cultural differences between like Asian Americans and European Americans and African Americans. It's like diet is basically the only thing that people have to hold up, because they in the US you give up your language, a lot of times you give up your religion. I mean, not so much anymore, thankfully, but not give up your religion, but it's the community, especially if you're in a smaller town, the community revolves around the church. So it would be harder to live in small town America and not have some sort of have that connection in some way, which I think why Koreans do well in America, because a lot of them are Christian, so it makes it easy. Okay. Come on. Okay, we're having a little memory issue here. But yeah, so it's a funny oh jeez, how many levels of oops do we have to go back here? Let's see. So that was seeing it as a pen and not as a moving the canvas. Interesting. All right, I think we recovered. Yeah, the frustrating thing is I can draw with my finger too, so I have to be careful. Yeah, I hope this isn't too strange, a stream, but I felt really bad that it looked like I wasn't going to be able to do anything this week. Oh, technical and health issues. All right, so let's try to do a bread knife. This should be fun. All right. Yeah, I definitely needed the more memory model for this tablet, because it'll just kind of, this is a Surface Surface Pro, the old one, 2017 one. So it'll hang memory-wise because it's only an i5 with like not so much memory. And it'll hang sometimes when I'm drawing. Kind of like my old computer at the office. But yeah, so sometimes I get worse kind of response. And that has nothing to do with what a bloated piece of garbage Photoshop is. No, not at all. It's amazing. And I guess it's just like the economics of software or whatever that all, I mean, people loved Firefox. Oh, what a great alternative browser. Wow, now it's a big bloated monster. I can't even open, I don't even want to open this thing anymore. And, people were using Chrome because it was a nice alternative to the wonkiness of Explorer and how, bloated and slow that was getting. And then just everything tends to bloated and slow. I guess because they're just trying to serve every possible user base. And so they just need to put everything in the kitchen sink. Or it's just like that's just the requirement of software is to sell new versions or get people to update. You have to have new features, and new features just, bulk everything up, bloat everything into a ridiculous state. These are looking bad. Okay, yeah, I'm getting some. I think the swap file or something is getting pretty full. I'm getting some weird wavy shake on my lines. Yeah, this is it doesn't look like we have any control. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so so Photoshop is, I'm sorry, I'm not talking about software anymore. I'm talking about a subscription service. That's right. Photoshop is no longer software. And they even took the CC now, the latest version. I think it's Premiere, or maybe all the apps are, when they're updated, they're going to get that. But now they don't even do the Creative Cloud branding anymore. All right. Yeah, maybe some bread jokes. So, yeah, I think that's all. So let me actually save this and then do a little bit of this. Oh, sorry, I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. Try to drag some layers over to the other file. So sorry if you're seeing something really bizarre right now. Because I have the focus on this one window. As I heard, there we go. All right. I think I want to draw one more squished bread. All right. Oh. Wow. So, thanks for showing up, my frozen cousin. I do miss that, though, because there isn't, in Osaka, we occasionally get snow because we're on the mountainside. We'll sometimes get a little bit of snow, which, because there are no snow shovels or anything, just have people sweeping. The broom is how you deal with snow where I'm at. And I do miss that, though. I love the feeling of kind of being snowed in. And there's just nothing you can do about it, so you just have to kind of relax and enjoy and hope you've got enough food in the house. But I guess the flip side of that is having no choice but having to go out into the horrible, super deep snow. When I lived in upstate New York, they didn't even bother with inches. It was just like how many feet fell, so it's like Ithaca and up to like Syracuse and Buffalo. It's that whole area is just like, how many feet of snow did we get? Don't bother with the inches. Those numbers are incomprehensible. Just tell me how many feet I'm dealing with. But of course they got really good with getting that snow out of there because it was so often the case. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. I don't think I'm going to be able, well, maybe I can. Oh, what am I doing? This is going to go horribly wrong. Yes, of course it is. Yes, only up. Yeah, this keyboard is not being recognized for the wonderful device that it is. So, let's see. I want to try to do kind of a comically smashed bread. Let's see. All right. Oh yeah, and if the doorbell rings, I'm the only one to answer it, so I apologize if I have to step away for a moment. I don't even have a I'll be right back screen on my streaming software. So, whoa, where are we going? Stop. So you're just going to see the picture go away. Come on. The palm rejection's getting really bad. It's got to look very smooshed. There we go. I think that works. Make that guy a little bigger and straighten the whole file out a little bit. Come on. You can do it. Oh, come on. Yeah, this is very strange. Yeah, it's kind of hung up here. Just get out of this for a minute. Oof. Ramble, ramble. Okay, can I... What in the world is happening? Oh, wow. That's amazing. Yeah, so you find out the things you didn't even know Photoshop could do. Jesus, come on. When the memory lag is so bad. Yeah, I was getting transform again. Did I? I didn't even transform it in the first place. Oh, interesting. Yeah, weird. Yeah, it's not letting me. Wow. Yeah, it's saying Control T as transform again, and I think that's a shift or something. Yeah, weird. Okay, just keep saving. Just keep saving. Hello? Come on. Come on. Yeah, sorry. I suspected as this went on, the system was going to start dragging. All right. Let's let this save and then try to move this. Come on. Moving. All right. Yeah, I guess that works. Okay. How's the composition bits? All right. So let's go back to the layers. Oh, 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 oh. Okay. Oh, it's finally caught up. Huh? Yeah, it's lagging pretty bad. Oh boy. So we'll just wait it out here. I've got it plugged in, so the processor runs a little bit faster when it's plugged in and should help some of this stuff. Yeah, I'm not getting the little arrow cursor anymore, so. Yeah. So, whoa. Whoa. Oh, oh. Okay, well, let's just quit this. It's good enough. All right, let's not push our luck with this thing. All right. Okay. What's this? Bread. That's blank. Now I'm going through my layers. Oh, that's the book. I think I need the book. I think I'm going to have to just do percentage of transform because I can't grab. Yeah, it's just not doing it. Ah, there it is. Okay. Let's turn off some of this other stuff. This is the fun part, right? I can't believe this is actually better than it used to be. It used to be so horrible to try to figure out what was where. Now you can actually just click on the pixels and it'll jump you, so it was a real necessity to, as you're creating layers, naming things, like stop at naming things, but that really slows down your flow when you're drawing. So blank one. Okay. Oh. Come on. Wow. Okay. There we go. So exciting. So, as you can imagine, there's no convenience store or comment section. I can't really get to the comments very easily with just this one screen. I guess it won't be much uglier. Oh, we can try it, but it won't be much uglier than it usually is. Hang on a minute. Oh. What's going on? Am I making new? What am I doing? Am I making new layers? Am I moving things up and down the layer order? I have no idea. Sorry, and it's behind the chat window. Oh boy. No. Okay. Need to put these things all together up higher, please. Yeah, I think I was just shifting layer order. Weird. Well, I'm just making new layers. Yeah, weird. Okay. Oh, there's the pencil. Okay, let's make that a little bit bigger. Okay. Now the glass. And now the book is, oh, yes, please keep those and the book. Come on, pencil. Wow, yeah, I don't know where my mouse is, but I sure would love some click and drag right now. Hmm. Oh, there we go. Does that distort too much? No, it's fine. Oh. Huh. Okay. Let's see if we can just select one thing. There we go. Oh, I should distort the pencil if it's going to be behind a water glass, shouldn't I? So maybe I won't. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining me on this very strange strange version of the stream. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Sorry, just getting adjusted here. Oh boy. Oh, that must sound wonderful. Sorry about that. Okay. So, let's just double check everything's still working. Great. Okay, so we have the two. Okay, so let's try to maybe give this a shot here. See if we can find some comments from last time. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can actually add layers and things while the stream is live, so this may not work. We'll find out. Okay. Whoa, what happened there? Okay. Okay. Okay, so if we go into here and I make a new layer of some kind, and I want that to be a browser, sure. I'll just call that whatever this is, and I'll put it here. Oh no, we don't want that. Sorry, that's not what we want. Isn't this fun? Wow, this must make a thrilling. Yes, it was like a thrilling stream. What is the window? I think it's just a window capture. Yes. Okay. Window. There it is. Okay. I'll just say Chrome so I can to remember what's going on here. And, oh boy. Good luck with this. How about this? No. That's Photoshop. I want Chrome. Oh, there it is. Huh? No. It doesn't like it. It's right here. No. Huh. Well, maybe this isn't possible. Especially when you don't set it up ahead of time. Okay. Would you like to look at the start menu? That would be fun. Gosh, sorry. Suddenly, my nose is full. Yeah, the only option it's giving me nothing. Yeah, sorry, it doesn't look like. It doesn't look like it's going to give me anything that I want. No, okay. Well, no comments. Oh, sorry about that. So I can read the comments and you can imagine them. That would be even more fun. Okay, so for last week, October 31st, so Halloween, the candy and the apple, and it says even if he contains several razor blades, it still made him the healthiest choice of the night. And one of the comments in the voice of John Mulaney as Mick Jagger, not funny. I don't know that much John Mulaney stand-up, so I don't remember his Mick Jagger impersonation. And the next one, if you're from Michigan, a recall has been issued for Listeria. Oh, yeah. And there's no Halloween blade sneak locally, but we do have a rifleman killing eagles. Should be a slam dunk. I don't want to hurt him, just stop him. Rather an honest eagle any day. I think the same individual shot my favorite osprey. Oh my god. Some bird murderer. Well, I'm definitely going to have to keep that all caps not funny for the back of my next book. All right, and let's just go back one. Since you're not seeing this isn't exactly thrilling. I guess I could screen cap it and put it on. Okay, so we've only got one comment on this last one, and it's the pumpkin and the pumpkin pie. The jack-o'-lantern and the pumpkin pie. He was confused by the idea of a non-decorative pumpkin. What's equally confusing is that canned pumpkin contains no pumpkin. It's made from squash. Whoa! That's funny. They don't even put pumpkin in pumpkin pie filling. So we were just eating squash pie. Ugh. So basically, pumpkin pie is only the seasonings, the whatever the wonderful cinnamon and things they put in there. Wow, that's very depressing. But I guess it might be expensive, and it's probably cheaper to process squashes. All right, well, that was the that was the invisible comments. Invisible comment segment. Wasn't that fun? All right. All right, so let's color some of these guys and see if we can make this even look remotely interesting. And always the fill is under the gradient, right? It's not showing me any options. So where's the fill? Weird. So wait. Ah, there it is. Weird. Okay, it's not under the tool it was before. That's a little creepy. Oh, geez, what just happened here? So, all layers, there we are. Let's do some... All right, so we're just filling in. Jeez, sorry, now my voice is going. Wonderful. What a time. What a time. Okay, and then I think I'll do a layer for the water. Well, thank you for joining me in this unusual way. I promise next week we'll be back to at least our usual low standards. Yep. So I work on a website for R.C. Harvey, and I update all of his writing onto the site. And another little story of technology gone crazy is I was what is going on? Whew. I was updating his site, and then went to send out the little update through MailChimp, which is the little software we use to maintain the list for the subscribers, update subscribers. And I can't log in to the website. There's just no way. I changed the password a bunch of times. There's no way. So it's probably like a cookie problem or something. But I don't want to delete everything. I'll save passwords and things just so I can get into MailChimp. So I have no access. That was the beginning of the end with the home computer thing. So home computer can't get in to send the email. So on the website it says, well, they have an app. Well, let's give that a shot. So their app is, send mail from your phone. So easy, so convenient. And just like every other app, it's barely functional. I don't know who designs apps, but boy, they sure have a racket going with the, almost completely unusable state that most apps are in. It's like and people are so tolerant of this nonsense anymore. Editing photos like on a touch screen with your finger, when I was just trying to lay out a simple email message, and the tools were just garbage, and things were so hidden. And if you select an area, if you're in a certain area, then the window expands and it blocks everything else. It's like, I have a pretty standard phone with a pretty standard screen size, and are they only designing apps for the iPhone? I mean, it's absolutely insane how unusable. And I guess that's why Apple stuck so hard to their little, well, still do, but geez, what happened? Stick so hard to their walled garden, because then at least you can get some sort of functionality. What is happening? Just turned everything off? Oh, whatever. Jeez. Okay. And I'm finding out all these wonderful Photoshop shortcuts that it didn't even know existed, because they don't exist. It's just like the misunderstanding of memory lag. All right. So I tried to use the app and thought I had gotten everything finally figured out, and it seemed to look kind of like what we were sending previously, and no way to preview it at all. And so I guess they have the send a test message. I guess I could have done that, but it seemed like everything went okay, and I sent the message, and then they're all their example instruction text from the that was originally pre filled in the text boxes was still there, plus the text that I had added. So people got this, hey, these great new features, just do this and from your phone, and like so, and then it goes into the announcement for the update on the website. So as you can imagine, RC Harvey was a little frustrated with that. So amazing. So apps don't need to have any functionality. That's not a thing they do. And everybody just, I don't know. And that's I think part of the reason for this is we've, how we handed over web design to English majors. So most of the people doing desktop publishing and web design are just people that have useless degrees that they can't do anything with, and they need employment. So they design websites, or they used to. And now it's all UX UI. So all people that can't do anything else are doing UX UI design, and they're not very good at it. So, and also I think, especially if it's computer science people, I wouldn't put them at the top of the list for people that understand like kind of how the average person would like to interact with a device, because they have a special way that they interact with their devices, a special obsessive way. Yeah, I guess do another line. And a little bit in the shadows. Okay, yeah, this seems to be kind of working. I can make it bigger, that's all. Yeah, the pressure went to hell though. Alright, well, this isn't going to be the most perfect execution of this beautiful style, but it functions. It's functional. Alright. Yeah, so apps are just ridiculous, and it's only going to get more horrifying the older we get, and the younger the idiots that are designing these things get. Because they, this is not going to be good. The eyes are going to actually be kind of tough. Oh, yeah, I think allergies is another. Yeah, shoot. You turn off the pressure sensitivity. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is going to be a little tricky. Maybe go down and size a little bit. Okay, and since we don't have any, I don't have any convenience store to interrupt, I'm just going to write these as I'm thinking of them. So no break. If hello, let's edit. Let's edit some text. Come on. Okay, so text tool. Let's double click in the text. All right. Yes. Editing. Seriously? Is there a no? Edit. Let's edit the text. Okay, here we go. Oh no. Well, I may have to hunt down a mouse or plug in some USB mouse to actually edit this. Are you kidding me? Oh, brother. Oh, I didn't double check. Is my mic? Yeah, mic is still going. Okay. All right. Oh, all right. So it seems that I can't edit the text with my stylus. It doesn't like it. Yeah, it seems to want to. Am I? No. Oh, I am. It's just not showing it to me. Oh, boy. Okay. Like the human body, creativity was 60% water. Okay, missed a couple of spaces there. Oh, how am I ever gonna... No. No. Yes. No. Yes. Wow. I guess because of the text input or whatever, it's not giving me the normal. Wow, that's terrible. It's not giving me the normal. So like the human body, creativity was... Oh, you can't even see that. Like the human body, creativity was 60% water. Wah wah. Okay. Let's do some bread. This is so strange. Weird. Okay, yeah, it's a lot to get used to. I apologize for having to put you through this, but hopefully it's, yeah, entertaining to watch the failure and struggle. Something a little brighter. Yeah, that works. And that doesn't. Okay, and the color of the bread, maybe a little more in the yellow. Okay. Hopefully, oops. Hopefully this will work. Let's see. Yeah, I think color-wise that works okay. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Fill it up. Nice. All right. And maybe another color on that blade. Oops. Oh. All right. Apologize for all this sniffling. Don't know what's come over me. Yeah, but lots of fun allergies in Japan because we've got all kinds of weird stuff blowing over from China that nobody knows what it is. But it could just be Japanese xenophobia that blames China for everything. Who knows? Oops. Oh, we gotta put the sensitivity back. Alright. Maybe some shadow here. A little bit of depth. Alright. Whoops. Is that not closed? Well, I think it's just a color that doesn't like. Alright. Yeah, I think it's just the color. Oh, actually, I don't want to do that. I want to do that. Okay. Let's. Okay, just wait. It's pretty sharp. I don't think I want those super sharp edges. Okay, good enough. Yeah, I think that works. Let's see if we can put some shadows underneath everything. All right. Oh boy. There we go. All right. That works. Turn off the pressure sensitivity again. Off, please. Thank you. And some eyes. And a little bit smaller eyes for the knife. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that works. So these are a little rough, but what are you gonna do? Uh-oh, is the stream still okay? What's going on? Yeah, still seems okay, I guess. Oof, is that my horrible breathing? Well, it sounds like a, hospital inside an iron lung. Yeah, I guess this microphone is sensitive. And I'm sitting down, bent over, so I'm breathing nice and weird for you. Weird, so is this other, yeah. Okay, so I guess it's working. Well, that looks like about all the damage I'm going to do this week. So, real quick, I didn't write, that's right, I didn't write this. I thought it. Didn't you hear me think it? Okay. Oh, there we go. We're getting some indication now of text being selected. Okay. Oh, no space problems. He was pretty terrible at his one and only job. I guess I could have got more extreme and have the bread more hacked at. Yeah, but just the bread being squished, I think works. Okay, so that was the idea. He was pretty terrible at his one and only job, cutting bread and not smooshing it. All right. Wow. Well, thank you for hanging in there, and I hope you enjoyed my suffering. And take care, cuz. I hope to connect again soon. Thanks for watching. And if you want to follow this cartoon on Twitter at Abuse Cartoons, previously it was I was posting a lot of the Inktober, but I'll get back to it. It's just going to be, basically notifications for the stream and things. But please feel free to follow me on Twitter at Abuse Cartoons. AbuseCartoons.com is the website. The archive is now gocomics.com/domestic abuse if you'd like to see all the old cartoons. And read the comments. That's the funniest part. And I will be back again next week. And thank you so much to the patrons. And I'm sorry to let you down this week with my health and technical issues. I promise to be back in full hilarious form next week with some convenience store goodness and everything as usual. So thank you for being a patron. And if you'd like to become a patron, please consider supporting this cartoon for almost nothing a month. And it'll help things grow and become more regular streams, more regular cartoons. And I will thank you greatly. And also you can get signed books, original art, things like that. So please have a look at patreon.com/abusecartoons. And I will be back next week. Thank you so much for joining me. Goodbye.